Bam.
This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
What's up, everybody? It's another NFC East show. It's was a tough week for me. So,
I do want to say, Philly, I'm glad you started the show with that. In the office, I mean, I have there's a mixture of Philly fans, okay, in my office, and we all hate the Cowboys, some more than others. They were humbled. They were humbled. I'm just gonna say this. I think obviously turnovers didn't do you guys any good. But for me, what stands out to the whole thing is special teams. Good God, you guys finally got a kicker, True. I mean, what, 60 yards, 49, 50. I mean, he hit what, five?
He had a 59 and a 60.
right.
I mean, that's just and he's not even a kicker. He just plays soccer. And it doesn't change
the scouting team. The
scouting
scouting team did their job.
It just doesn't change the fact that I still hate the Dallas Cowboys immensely. I was rooting for Philly. Truth be told, I didn't watch the game. I basically slept through it here nor there. But I did watch some of the highlights, some of the game, the lowlights, depending on who you guys would ask. And I'm gonna end it with this. I'm not surprised that Philly lost. Although I wouldn't have been surprised if they would have won, because this whole season I've said it many times on this show that they find ways to win, although they're still trying to find their sweat. There's that beautiful beard, although mine's better.
What's going on, guys?
I will and I'll say where was that the turnovers hurt you, obviously. And the one time where you guys needed to play the perfect game, you guys couldn't get it together. I'm just being honest. And the fact that Dallas has had what week is this? This week 15? Yeah, 14 weeks of basic practice, because honestly they haven't. I mean, other than Seattle, they haven't beat a team with the winning record. they built that confidence. They're they make Dak. They bring up his numbers. But then again, you look at who they play.
Well,
against.
maybe somebody should talk who actually saw the game instead of everybody who just slept. I know that you've been talking for 5 minutes.
Saying
5 minutes, you got your soliloquy in. Jesus Christ!
5 minutes and 18 seconds. Wait, time out. You had a 4 minute and 15 second intro, so
So, anyways, you can't. First thing I got to say is you cannot put the ball on the ground and expect to win. That's facts. And when your three best players do it, in succession, it was like one after another, along with the fact that, that one basketball catch that he missed completely that went right through his arms, for a touchdown.
In the end zone.
And then the other one was like really on the 1 yard line, kind of same situation. Like both of them were like dead touchdowns. And drops. It's just that's a recipe for disaster. That is a recipe for disaster. And along with I would say timely penalties. Some of the penalties I thought were ridiculous, and then some of them are like, really, why would you do that? Like what?
Well, that's
what
kind of the theme in the NFL this week about the refs.
So, I'm not going to cry about referees because the referees didn't drop the ball. You know what I mean? They didn't fumble. You know what I mean? That's the thing. We were driving and fumble, and driving and fumble, and driving and fumble, and you just can't do that. You can't do that. I think that had we not fumbled the ball and we'd scored on 2 of those 3 possessions that I'm talking about, that obviously it would have been a much, much different game. So I feel like they have stuff that they have to clean up, but it's not the end of the world here. Like I think that Eagles fans currently think that it's the end of the world, that we just lost back-to-back games to San Francisco and Dallas. And let's face it, they are probably 2 of the better teams in the NFC. Quite possibly right now they are probably number 1 and number 2 in the NFC.
Yeah,
and we just played 4 games in 20 days. 4 games in 20 days. And you guys had 10 days off. So there is something to be said for all of this, the way that it fell on us. If we win against Seattle, in our gauntlet, we're 3-2. And that ain't so bad.
Yeah, there's a lot of football. There's still a lot of football. And going even further into the game on the Dallas Cowboys side, Dak didn't even have his best game. He had a couple of errors on his side. The fumble was one of them. Not holding on to the ball, giving a defensive touchdown to the Eagles.
Come on, Matt. That's not fair. That's not fair, man.
Oh, it's very fair.
No. I'm talking about Matt's comment. I'm defending my guy. I'm defending Philly. There is nothing fake about my guy.
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that went right for the Dallas Cowboys. There was the 3 errors that went wrong, along with those missed catches. But the thing was, Dak didn't play up to par, which he knew he did, and he even admitted that. And you could see it on the field. He was missing some throws, and he just wasn't reading the defense the way he thought he was going to read the defense. And I have to give props to the Eagles on shifting their defense around in order for these passes to be knocked down and the linebackers playing the way they did in this game. But Dak did get the better of them on 2 scores. So, what you were saying earlier about our field goal kicker, he was phenomenal. I mean, a 59-yarder and a 60-yarder. I mean,
and on that 60-yarder, he probably could have had at least 5,
another 10 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10, yeah.
Yeah, and it was just a great game all the way around. Yeah, it was a great game all the way around, seeing what the defense was doing, holding. They came to the forefront when it mattered the most towards the end of the game. I mean, they were playing tough the first half. The second half, not so much. I mean, as far as the offense was concerned, I knew the Cowboys would get 30-plus points. That's just the way the trend's been going. And I love hearing everything from the Niners fans right now. That they opened Pandora. They showed the Cowboys the way. No, it is who it's football. You learn your lessons. and everybody this week has been scared. They're going back. Well, we don't want to face. I want to face the Niners. If we have a healthy team, we didn't have that healthy team in the first 3 weeks when we played them week 3. We had 3 offensive linemen that were off to the side. Now everybody would say, well, this is the NFL, da-da-da-da-da. 3 starting offensive linemen, that's pretty hard to overcome with any team. I don't care who you are. So it was a fun game to watch.
Yeah, but let's not forget that they got like 4 people on the offensive side of the ball too that can score points at any given time.
Well, not when you're not being protected, and that's what happened during that whole game.
Well, I'm talking about the 49er offense. I know you're saying that your offensive line was injured. Okay, I get that. And let's not forget they got Chase Young. I'm sorry, Pork Ryan. I had to bring that up.
No, that's very true. But let's see, that's
all I'm saying is the 49ers are a pretty good team right now.
No, they are. Don't get me wrong. They are a good team. But when your offense can't stay out on the field that week 3, then your defense is going to fail. But it's neither here or there. That's further down the field.
Yeah, we got to prove it on the field. We could talk about it all day. Going back to this
game, it was really fun to see Micah Parsons going against the tackle on the Philadelphia side. It was so much fun to see that matchup. I mean, you have the best, one of the, if not the best tackle right now in the NFL for the Philadelphia Eagles out there trying to protect his guy with Micah Parsons on him. And I mean, the first set of reps was just explosion. Micah Parsons had the illegal hands to the face and whatnot, but it was just a fun matchup to see two big weights, 2 big dogs going up against each other on the defensive and offensive side. I mean, right there, that set the tone for the game, I believe. Just that matchup, nobody was going to back away from that matchup, and it was just so much fun to watch. But we're on to next week.
Yeah, I mean,
so are we.
I think
you have to.
The schedule favors the Eagles though. Last 4 games of the season. I mean,
I don't know, man. I don't know. Do you know you got?
Yeah,
you gotta forget about it over there.
I'm worried about New Orleans right now.
Exactly.
Perfect segue. Look,
exactly.
The kid is awesome. We weren't supposed to win this game. Let's be honest.
No.
Okay? Nobody picked us. I think Scott did.
I did.
You did? True, you picked us? I'm talking about the analysts on ESPN. Obviously, I didn't watch the.
Yeah, I didn't pick you guys.
I would have. And
we all did agree, though, it was going to be a 3-point game, though.
Right. Yeah, and it was.
We picked you with the points.
Yeah. You picked us too, Philly?
No, I think that I said that the Packers would win the game, but it would be a 1-score game. That it would be that if I was given points, I'd take the
they had the ball last. That's what he said. If the Giants had whoever had the ball last was going to determine the game, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
I was going to bring up the box scores. There's really no need. The numbers that I want to tell you is the donuts that we had, meaning 0 sacks and 0 interceptions by I almost said Danny DeVito. Oh God, Tommy DeVito. He brings a swag to the team, and it's awesome to see. Tommy Cutlets. I mean, it's so good to see just that kind of energy now. It's with having the season at one time for a loss, and now it's like you're telling me there's a chance, and
well, you think about who's in the number 7 seed right now, the team that you just beat, the Packers.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I mean, and they are really only 1 game ahead of you guys because you guys went to 5-8. So
and you guys do split the difference now.
Yeah, we do have the head-to-head, and I mean, it's week to week. Game to game, this situation, and what I love the most about it is the maturity of this kid that's leading the team. And let's not forget, though, the defense did give us 3 turnovers, and those turnovers turned into points in the game. Our defense is playing great. Thibodeau is having a quiet 12-sack season right now, and it's just ridiculous. I love that he's under the radar.
Well, one of the things to be said too is that coming from the Giants side, you do hear that the team is playing different on both sides of the ball with the quarterback.
Yeah.
They're actually, proceeding to play a little bit more and give a little bit more than what they did at the beginning of the season, let alone, when the other QB came in.
It reminds me of when we had Heineke. It really does. It reminds me of when Heineke came in and they really just rallied around him. So,
and I would dare to say that Tommy DeVito is our version of Brock Purdy. The only difference between the two is that Purdy was drafted and Tommy wasn't. One thing I want, and I'll leave with this. I'll say this, that it was on Get Up Tuesday, Victory Tuesday. Oh, felt good. Apparently when Saquon had that fumble, Tommy went over to Saquon and said, "Don't worry about it. I got you." And when I watched the post-game interview with Tommy, the reporter asked him, "Why did you go to Saquon and say those kind words to him?" And he said, "When I mess up on the field, when I throw an interception, Saquon's the first one to come to me and say, 'We got your back.' So that's the least I can do because we're all in this together." And I'm, for a rookie to show that leadership to the vets and just bring something out that we haven't, seen since last year, let's say, it's going to be awesome to see at least this week,
Yeah, that's true. And then that's why I said, coming from the reports inside the camp is that on both the offensive and defensive. So when you've got the defense buying into the offense, especially a rookie quarterback, that says more about where they are in their mindset of things compared to where they were just even 4 weeks ago when they didn't have, that definitive when we played you guys, and it just goes to show, hey, remember what I said 4 weeks ago, that coach has to let him sling the ball. There's no reason he shouldn't.
Yeah. We're finally playing complimentary football. Finally. I mean, it's taken this long. And like I said, I'll be there in New Orleans. I can't wait. And
how many do you feel like he needs to win to be considered the quarterback for next season?
Oh my God. And you know what's ironic? What's ironic? He's wearing number 15. Do you guys know? Does that ring a bell?
Hostler, man.
And what did he do in 1990? Yeah. Oh, I'm not questioning you guys. I know you guys know your football. I know. But I mean, it's just great to see that. But I mean, Philly, you bring up a good point, man. Look, Shane said a couple weeks ago, if or when Danny comes back, he's the starter. He's the one getting paid the money, right? But damn it, what if? What if? I mean, look, if he wins out, let's just say he does beat Philly twice, right? Because if we're doing hypothetical, let's go to the ultimate. Let's go to the extreme, right? If we make the playoffs and win a playoff game, I don't know what to say about Jones. And I'm a Jones supporter through and through. But
and that's the thing too.
We all know that the NFL means not for long.
Yep.
So,
and I don't think the Giants would be sitting on 20+ million for a QB, and then if you have that competition, and the one thing I will say about this is that you don't need the other backup QB who you have right now. If that's the case, that's the only thing that I can see happening. In the future.
Yeah. Are you talking about Tyrod?
Yeah.
He won't be back next year.
Yeah, I think
it's a 1 year deal.
I think that's the only thing you can actually definitively say.
Yeah, he had a 2-year deal.
Okay.
He's not going to be. I mean, obviously, Tommy is going to, if anything, be number 2. If anything,
Exactly.
If but let's think about that in a different way. If Tommy goes out and wins, let's say he wins 2 of the next 4 games. So now he's what he would be 4-2, 5-2. In the last 8, and you could almost say, or last 7, and you could almost say that
he's
he
3-1
really didn't have
right now
anything
as
to
a
do with the
starter.
top 10, huh?
He's 3-1 right now.
So that would make him 5-3. So that would make him 5-3. And you could argue that he didn't have anything to do with the first, 9 games, because obviously that was Danny Dimes' fault, and that he could have possibly led you. What would make you think that he would want to be a backup?
Well, okay,
that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, they would have to sign him to something, and there would be a thought process.
Yeah, we have him for 3 more years. I'm sorry, 2 more years. If I'm not mistaken, 2 more years. I think.
On a rookie contract.
Yeah, so he's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Is he on a rookie contract?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, they didn't do. It's not just a 1-year deal.
It's not a 1-year deal. No. I think we have him for 3.
Even though
3 more years.
He was undrafted, they signed him to a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
Okay. If not,
he was undrafted and said 3 year. I don't think so.
Yeah, you can look it up
right now.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. Just because of the a 2-year deal, I believe.
I want to say we have him for at least 3 or 2 more years. One of the 2.
But here's the thing: is that Danny Dimes will come back and he will have the starting position, regardless of what the Giants do this year.
3-year deal. 3-year.
So we do have him for 2 more years. Yeah, I figured it was something. So look, the thing about Jones, okay, he is gonna have to win from the jump. He cannot have another year to where he shows any type of regression whatsoever.
Yep.
Because what you don't want is the crowd to go against you.
Oh yeah, New York will do it,
and I think it's already started.
Quick.
Yep.
I think it's already started.
Right. But I will say this: Jones will get his shot. Right, he'll get his shot. But the moment he throws, God forbid, just an interception.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it'll be
or even the first series, we don't even get a first down. The Boo Birds will fly.
Yep.
Mark it on your count. They will fly.
Well, that's why that's exactly. I mean, being here in Texas, you can see the media from New York how they're craving and they're just wanting this QB up there right now. Mm-hmm. And it's a persona that's being pushed across, and the narrative being pushed across.
He's a hometown boy.
Well, exactly, and that's exactly it, and that's why I'm saying the media is carrying the water for the kid already, and they have every right to. He's on a rookie deal. He's got some wins behind his belt,
and he has nothing to lose too.
Exactly,
absolutely nothing to lose. Yep. But one thing I'll say when I listened to Dable's interview, post game interview, he does humble him though. He does bring Tommy down to kind of like, okay, now we got to focus on, because you can hear it on the kids' post-game interviews. He'll, Dable will give him his prompts, but he's like, okay, now we got to get back to work. This game's done and over with, and now we got to go on to the next. But I want to give kudos to Kifka and also the offensive line coach, because the offensive line played lights out football on Monday night, and at the end of the game, the lineman got the game ball, and it was well deserved. 0 sacks, 0, and 0 interceptions. It would have been 0 turnovers, but Barkley
tripped over the line.
That grass jumped up and bit him, I guess. Yep. But it was a great win.
Was it a shoestring tackle?
No, he wasn't touched at all.
Okay.
He
The
fell.
The turf
and the
monster
ball
that grabbed
squirts.
Dan.
Well,
Turf
yeah.
monster that grabbed
Got him
Dan. He
by
got
his
him,
ankles.
grabbed him again.
Yeah, on the ride home, the guys on the NFL on Sirius NFL were talking about that, and they were saying that a Green Bay player did get a hand on a shoestring,
They did,
and that
but
he didn't regain his balance.
He regained his
Oh,
balance.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Yes, he regained his balance, and then a few steps later, the turf monster grabbed him.
Gotcha.
Which I will say, I did not know that once you regain your balance, you are now the runner again.
Yep.
So if you were to fall and fumble, that's an actual fumble. But yeah, you're right, True Blue. He did hit his foot. He stumbled, got himself up together, stumbled again, and then. But the Pinnock. Did you watch the game, Pork Rind?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so tell me that Pinnock block. I'm not going to talk about the Banks block, but the Pinnock block at the end of the game in the back of the end zone, where the quarterback was facing Love, caught the ball, and Pinnock came around and stripped it out. That was so close of a call.
Oh yeah,
Those were two game-changing plays. The one that Banks did, great play.
Yeah,
it was clean, and Pinnock was. I mean, hold on, what is it? Filthy in Philly? What's up, man? Let's see. Had a bus with you
Just
on
saying
the
hello to
trip.
me. You keep talking.
Go, bro. I'm just reading what he says because I'm always wondering, when it's going to talk about the Giants. When are people going to talk about?
Still control the NFC East. I don't know, man. I think Cowboys might have.
Well, I'm going to have to say, Pork Rind, you probably had the easiest weekend of the season so far, huh?
Oh, dude, this was great.
I was going to bring Pork Rind into this because I wanted to have your opinion, Pork Rind, on what do you think about Travis Kelce proposing to Taylor Swift on her birthday?
No, he didn't.
That's a rumor.
No.
What are your thoughts? I'm trying to get your thoughts.
I mean, whatever.
You're very close to the situation. I know how much of a Swiftie you are.
He's like, we're talking about this too much already.
I couldn't name one Swiftie song, man.
Somebody got a bracelet.
Oh man.
Anyways, so I mean, and the other news coming out, like I might as well bring this up. Hey, listen, is there a possibility that Belichick comes down to coach?
God, I hope not.
Washington?
Yeah, that's rumors. I hope not. God, I hope not.
I don't see him moving into the NFC.
That would be such a Dan Snyder move.
Well, I could see Belichick.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
I could see Belichick coming to the NFC, but it would be with the Giants. If the Giants he would love to be the Giants head coach. Isn't he like 104 years old? I mean,
I think he goes to LA. I think he goes to LA for the Chargers.
Chargers?
He does have a boat.
Exactly.
He does have a boat.
He does have a boat. He does have the weather. He won't have to deal with the snow.
He's got to drive that boat across the country. That's because there ain't no good, easy way to get from his boat. From
he got billions of dollars. He'll ship that thing over there.
No,
that's like a drop in the bucket for him.
No, he's not, Timmy.
I wonder, what does he care more about, his boat or his Super Bowl rings? That's what I'm wondering about. Probably.
You got to go back and look at that NFL video where he's on there. He's always out on his boat. That's where he escapes. So, I don't think he would ever come over here. Not even to the Giants. I think he's done. I think he's done up there in the Northeast. I think he wants to get out of that area.
You know the name of his boat?
East will not have to see him.
I already know the name of his boat. It's it's 8 Rings. That's the name of his boat. I'm dead serious. 8 Rings. Because every time he wins it, he changes the name and he adds to the like this motherfucker. Oh, it's crazy. It is crazy.
Yeah, I just don't see him. I just don't see him coming into the NFC East and coaching anytime soon.
I'll tell you, I would not be shocked. Have you seen that Bill? What is it? Bill to Bill, or Bill and Bill? It was Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick. Great show. You know, obviously I watched.
Oh yeah,
it like 5 times.
Yeah.
He would. I think he would come back to.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, that would be a little bit of a Harris move, to bring somebody in who has had, like, they would give him full operations. You know, like they would give him full operation of things, and that's what he's looking for. Is he going to get that with the Chargers? Maybe. You know what I mean? But I don't.
I hope he does. The
only other place that I could see that would possibly happen would be, I mean, as funny as this sounds, with, you know, that they would fire the coach over in Vegas.
The reason I say L.A. and the reason I jump to that is because, as of course you heard the announcement today, L.A. is getting the Super Bowl in 27. So that would be the owners getting together saying, hey, we want this guy. Let's put him over here in LA to see what he can do for us.
Where is it in 26?
Man, you got me. I don't
give me 2 seconds. I'll find out for you.
I know it's Vegas. I know it's
Vegas this year. It's
is it Miami again, or New Orleans, or Houston?
I want to say New Orleans is coming up.
Yeah, I think it is New Orleans.
I think New Orleans is next year, because it was it was going to be this year, but because the weekend of the Super Bowl falls on Mardi Gras weekend as well, they couldn't do it in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they put it in Vegas.
All right. So right now, obviously, this year it's in Vegas. Next year it is in the Superdome.
Yep.
On 26, it's in Santa Clara, and then 27, it's going to be at SoFi.
Yeah, San Fran, then SoFi.
Yep. And that's just I don't understand how San Francisco or Santa Clara gets it. That is a horrible stadium.
Yeah.
Getting in and out of that place is horrible. Commuting there is horrible. Public transportation is horrible. It's bottle-ticked in and out.
You say horrible, but I guarantee you they take like security measures. You know, it's probably more of a.
Well, that's probably one of the reasons is because it bottlenecks in. It bottlenecks in and bottlenecks out.
Yeah. This will be my first time going to New Orleans. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you a perfect tailgate to go to. So.
Okay. And I want to let you guys know.
It is a loud stadium. It is a very loud stadium.
It isn't? Okay. I do want to I want to share something personal with you guys. I knew I was going to New Orleans this weekend, so I went on a diet for the last 6 weeks, and I've lost 20 pounds. So I can, gain 30 pounds while I'm in New Orleans this week. So.
You'll eat good
food, brother.
I'm gonna get beignets and gumbo and etouffee, and I'll think about you guys the whole time.
Well, stay off Bourbon Street then.
Yeah, and
don't be getting no beads.
I'll show these off. I don't care.
Now we're going into our matchup.
Might have some hair on it. I remember I'm Greek, fellas. I'm Greek, so.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to stay too long on that whole thought.
Yeah, let's go into this week's matchups.
Let's do that before this turns into an OnlyFans. Come on.
Well, I'll go first. We've got another bye, so so it's gonna be a great.
The 1 o'clock game. The 1 o'clock game is the Giants versus the Saints. The Saints are giving 6 points to the Giants, and the over/under is 39.5.
Ooh.
Anybody? I'll wait.
I'll jump in there and just say, this is, if it's 39, that means the score is going to be 19-16. It's going to be a very low scoring game. I haven't seen New Orleans do too much this year of anything. I think, with the rest that Sam Howell's gotten in the Washington, well, I don't know, man. Eric Bieniemy, the quarterback, dysfunction. It's still going to be a close game, and I'm going to have to use Philly's tag from last week. Whoever has the ball last is going to win, because I believe Washington should take this game.
Seeing that we're talking about the Saints and the Giants, the fact that you think Washington's going to win is something else.
I want to know how that's going to happen.
I thought we were talking about Washington.
See, I messed them up when I talked about OnlyFans. That's what I take full responsibility. True.
I thought Washington was playing them.
Yeah, I was going to say, wow, that's amazing.
Why am I going there?
Well, now I could jump off script.
Okay.
If we're talking Giants in New Orleans, and it's still going to be the same measure. I'm going to have to say the Giants are going to be the same measure. Whoever has the ball last, it's still going to be a low-scoring game. I see it exactly just like Green Bay. That's where Washington and the Giants sit right now, side by side.
And see, what I think, my personal opinion on this game is that I think that the Giants win. I think that the Giants win handily. I think that the Saints are a mess right now. And David Carr's a mess. I think that they're fighting on the sidelines with each other.
Yep.
And I think that when you start doing that, you start playing really bad football.
Yeah.
So I think that the Giants don't need to score a lot of points. I think this could be like a 19-6 or 19-7 game. But that's all they would need. You know what I mean? I don't think that New Orleans is going to do anything unless Taysom Hill starts playing quarterback.
I think he's out.
Is that why he got 0 points?
He's actually questionable. He's listed as questionable.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to play. Last week he was out. I don't think he's going to come back this week.
That's why he got 0 points. I was wondering why he got nothing. But
anyways, Washington's going to win the game against the Saints.
And the Giants,
they're gonna beat it for the Giants. Yeah, they're gonna beat them.
Exactly right.
Go ahead, Porcon. What do you got?
No, I think Giants are gonna win. It's gonna be interesting to see how Tommy does against the Saints defense in that stadium, because it does, like Philly said, it does get loud in there. But I think the Giants, like Philly said, I mean, the Saints are a mess. I watched a little bit of that, and they are. Derek Carr just doesn't look good in that offense, and I think the score will probably be Giants 17, Saints 9. It's gonna be a low-scoring game. I wouldn't be surprised if one of those touchdowns is a defensive touchdown by the Giants.
So true. You said that the Saints were gonna win.
I'm saying it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same combination. It's going to be close. Whoever has the ball last. It's still going to be a 19-16 game. It's going to be very close.
This kind of worries me because like that whole analyst panel, when they all pick one team, the other team wins. So, but clearly, I'm not going to sit here and say the Saints are going to win. Look,
Saints are horrible.
Philly, you actually took my line from me. You're right. They are disarray. And it's sad because the moment Carr went there, they were the favorites for that division, and it turned out to be a hot mess. So with that being said, with the camaraderie that we have and the momentum and the short week, I actually think that's going to benefit us.
Yeah.
Because right now the Giants have that us against the world mentality. And damn it, if we can hold on to that, I honestly see this being like maybe a 24-10, 24-14 type of game. I would love to see Tommy, run one, throw one. And, hell, I'd love to see, I would love to see Thibodeau get a tip, run a pick six in, get a tip interception and he would get in the end zone. That'd be awesome to see. But I agree. I think we're going to get a pick six because, Carr is not accurate. And I actually got, I'm not going to say my source. I was actually told today that Carr is the type of player that if he were to throw you the ball and it was a horrible pass, rarely would he say my bad. Like he would always put the blame on other players rather than himself. I thought it was the opposite. So when I heard this, am I spreading rumors? Yes, I'm spilling tea right now because we're going against the Saints. And I was shocked when I heard this. But if it's true, I don't know. I'm gonna say I don't know. But I was shocked when I heard that. So I hope in this case it is true. So he blames everybody. So the line don't block for him, and Dex will be dancing all over the field.
Well,
That's what
So
I
you got
wanna
the
say.
Saints?
Yeah, I'll take the Saints. Yeah, Saints. Yes, I'm going to
Saints.
Saints. Hey, this 3-0. You know, same as the Minnesota.
hey,
Yeah.
you got that. You got. Hey, I said Washington over the Saints. So let's clear that air up.
I know. I was going to agree with Philly because he stole my line. You know.
All right. Game number 2 of the week is going to be the Washington Commanders traveling all the way to Los Angeles for a game against whose house? It's the Rams' house.
We're on a bye.
And
We're on a bye.
Denial.
and it's
Denial
a 6.5
sucks.
point spread, and the over under at 50.5.
Only 6.5.
Only.
Huh.
Only 6.
I mean, our defense is averaging giving up 30+ points a game. So
They got the over under at 50.5 though.
I mean,
Am I reading that right?
I think the Rams
Yeah.
might get 50 of it. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be a 30-24 game.
we're not scoring 20.
I think you guys will lose, but I think
Yeah, no, we're gonna lose, hands down. I don't think it's gonna be close though.
24 game.
We might score 14. I think it's gonna be a 45-14 game. If you've got the Rams running back, Cup, and the other receiver, start them on your defense or start them in your fantasy league. Our defense is not good.
Yeah, I'm gonna Washington traveling that far. I don't see any problems with that. What I do is the Rams are still upset from the Baltimore game.
Yeah.
I think they're going to take it out on Washington, but I do believe Washington is going to keep it close. I understand what Pork Ryan is saying. The frustration is built up, but you got to give some saving grace per se to Washington, because I do think they're going to come out playing after a bye week to try and get some. They've got to do something this week against the Rams. They got to throw it around. They've got to get the ball open. It's just one of those things. You got a bye week.
Hey,
You got to come in strong.
They better throw the damn ball to Terry because, I mean,
Well,
and not to get one ball thrown to him is pretty ridiculous. But
I think Eric Bieniemy has some, he's very offensive minded, so he should be able to do something, especially, that game the Rams fought. They went into overtime, so traveling back and forth.
I just pray Sam Howell makes it out of there because Aaron Donald, man. Yeah,
Joe thinks
I
that
agree.
you guys are going to win.
Keith, because Joe is on some serious. He needs to be careful.
He's on the pork rind train.
Nah, Pork Ron's not on that train.
Pork Ryan saying they're on a bye.
We got 4 straight buys coming out of the bye.
And how many of those buys are at home?
2,
How many of those buys are you going to?
maybe 1.
He doesn't want to go to that Cowboys one.
I do. My tickets are up for sale, buddy. And I've never done that before.
Well,
I do not want to go. I might.
all right. So we got the Rams winning. I've got the Rams winning.
It's like an ex-girlfriend, right?
I've got the Rams women
Keep
too.
coming back.
And just under 30-24. I got it. So like 50.5 is just is an under. Next game on the docket at 4:25, the Dallas Cowboys travel to Buffalo. It's interesting. All 4 teams are away this week. All
Yeah.
4 NFC's teams are away.
Usually they have 2 at home.
Yeah.
Right, the Dallas Cowboys travel all the way to Buffalo, where they're going to be 2.5-point dogs and a 50.5-point spread.
Joe, on the list.
I'll go ahead, go first. I'm taking the Bills. I mean, they're gonna start stacking wins. I want to see Josh Allen not throw a pick. I want to see Josh Allen, throw 4 touchdowns, maybe run for 1. And I want to see Dak, not play well at all. And I want to see
That's a lot of want.
the score. I know. I'm gonna want in one hand and in the other, and we'll see what happens. But look, it's gonna be a close game. I'm still picking the Bills, like 27-20. I think it's gonna be that type of game. Maybe the refs will pull one out again for Buffalo.
Yeah,
Tony was offsides. Tony was offsides.
Oh, he was offsides all game.
Yeah, and they called it the one time that he didn't. But
that was horrible.
That was a heck.
No, the look, Buffalo has been very questionable this year. Questionable is not even really. They haven't played up to par, which everyone thought they were. Even last week against Kansas City, they weren't up to par. But even again, Kansas City wasn't playing good ball, and they haven't been playing good ball for the past 5 weeks. Cowboys have been on their game. Dak Prescott has been playing very, very good, even though, he wasn't on his A game this past game. Flying up to Buffalo is going to be, I think they were ready to get out of AT&T Stadium, but I do think they're going to go up there. And our defense is going to be the ones to prevail. Depending on the weather, I still have us scoring 30-plus points, and we will be holding the Buffalo Bills to under 20. I'm going to say 23 points. Josh Allen isn't going to do everything that he thinks he is, and he will be throwing those picks, Sneaky. He will be throwing those picks.
He better not call Gilmore old. I'll tell you that right now.
He even may fumble one up there. The way he runs around. He's a big guy. I like him, but you know what? He just doesn't protect the ball, and he hasn't protected the ball all season. So I'm going to have the Cowboys winning this one, 35-24.
I think that you're going to have a little bit of a come down. I know that you guys are playing pretty well, especially after watching that. But watching them celebrate after the game and hearing all of the way that the fans are and stuff like that, I think that I know that this is your gauntlet and all, and Buffalo could definitely give it up. But I think it's going to be a real close game. And even though I think that you guys may score in the 30s, I think Buffalo's also – it's going to be a shootout type. If – the way that I watched your defense, we were still driving, and again, you guys got the turnovers, but we were able to move the ball on you guys. And that is something that if you don't turn the ball over, we score touchdowns. You know what I mean? That's your defense was letting them up and has been letting them up. I think it could be like a 35-31 game. I think it's going to go way over the 50.5, but that's also going to depend on what the weather looks like.
Exactly.
I hear somebody say it's snow over here. I heard it's supposed to be
I just looked it up. It says
40 degrees and
39 degrees, 25% chance of daytime rain. Yeah.
That's what they call snow when it's over 32 degrees. Rain. So
yeah,
that was good.
and just imagine Buffalo spending all that money for a new stadium and not even enclose it. Even though I understand Buffalo Bills fans. Let's make the elements part of the game. I don't know about that, but
who would have thought? Right?
Yeah. Anyways, so
hold on, I got to get this out. DeMarcus Russell. No, is it Russell? No, who's that? Who's your guy that I hate that dissed that Giants fan? Talk about get a new team. You don't know what I'm talking about, right? The one that said
Lawrence.
Marcus Lawrence. I don't like him at all.
That's fine. I do.
And well, of course you do. He disrespected a little kid. The way he gave locker room material. Talk about we hit him in the mouth. We hit him in the mouth again and again, and they hate it. They get tired, and we do it again. So I really want him to eat his words. I really, really do. And I'll be the first one to let him know.
There you go.
He'll be fired. He'll be fired up. He'll be fired up. Just knowing that
I'm
you
sure
think
Buffalo
that.
Bills saw that tape, and I'm sure that they showed that film. Or I hope they did.
Come out.
I hope they did. Oh. Put some salt, pepper, maybe a little hot sauce on that. Here you go.
Oh yeah, we'll get that little picture of that kid and put him on that guy. We'll put him on Josh Allen's jersey.
There you go. So, anyways, everybody picked that one. Everybody's got the Bills except True. All right. And the last game on the one flex to Monday Night Football. I tell you, it sucks so bad. Philadelphia Eagles, 4-point favorite away, where they have not won since 2007, maybe 2008, against the Seattle Seahawks, 47.5 over/under.
Has the injury report come out on the Seahawks about Geno?
Yeah, I was going to say that. Ask the same thing.
I will tell you right now, he is. It says Drew Lock, Geno Smith is questionable.
All right, I'm going to make it quick because, and it's going to pain me to say this, Philly is going to win. I don't care what the score is. They're going to win.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think Philly bounces back, man. I think their identity on offense, they get it together. Hopefully the three best players won't fumble the ball. But I see them getting it back. I see them running the ball a little bit more because Seattle, you can definitely run the ball against them. So I think Philly wins 31-10. I don't see Seattle doing much on offense, especially if Geno doesn't play.
Oh, if Drew Lock plays, yeah,
I'm opposite of that thinking. Drew Lock does play pretty good up in Seattle with the crowd that he's got, but I don't think he has enough to take over the Eagles up there. Yeah, I think the Eagles should bounce back on this game.
Yep.
They should prevail. Seattle's a fun place to play. It's a loud place to play, and that's why I'm saying Drew Lock's going to have that in his favor. But I think the Eagles are going to come back and with their running game against the Seahawks, just like McCaffrey tore him up last week. I think Swift's going to do the same thing with them.
Baltimore did it.
Yeah, it's just Swift is good enough. I think he can get in those lanes, and nobody's going to stop him. Seattle just doesn't have that. So I've got the Eagles winning this one. It's going to be, not close, but it's going to be fun to watch until we get to the fourth quarter. But I have the Eagles winning this one 28-16.
Yeah. And the thing, like you said, that stadium does get loud, but guess what? If your offense is playing good ball, they're scoring points, that stadium's not very loud.
It gets quiet pretty quick. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, and I'll say this. If you are the visiting team, you got to go to Seattle. And why? I mean, it is for me.
I was supposed to go this year.
One of the best experience I've ever had as a football fan. Fans were great. They give you shit, but it's still great. It's still awesome. And that stadium it's a nice stadium. It's a nice stadium.
I hope Lockett didn't start fighting. That wasn't Lockett. That was Metcalf.
And Joe's sources tell us that Geno Smith is playing. because Joe is trying everything he can to make sure that the Eagles lose. But that's all right. I think it's I've been saying that the Eagles needed that they played 4 games in 20 days. And that's a lot. And they had again, the Cowboys were on 10 days rest when they got him. And before that, San Francisco was on 10 days rest before they got him. This is the first team that's going to be at 7 days rest or 8 days rest, and they're going to actually get the extra day of rest, which I think they need. So
Plus the
I
travel.
firmly believe. Yeah, I mean the travel's up there, but it's I think that you're going to see a very focused Eagles team. You know what I mean? I think that they're going to be very refocused. And I would suspect that Geno Smith is not going to have a good day. He's going to have some rust attached to him, especially for being out for a couple weeks and he's got a groin. And if he does play, it's going to be what have you. But I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be. We're going to score 30 points, and they are going to maybe score 13 points. I think that we get off to a fast start. We get the ball into the end zone, and are able to move forward and get this win, and get back on the winning track of things. And then our real season begins, because I always have felt that the Eagles season does not begin until we play the Giants. I've always felt that way. And it's been nonstop. It's like, so the fact that we're playing them this late in the season sucks for me.
Yeah.
I would rather play the Giants early in the season to start, early and end. That's how I would like to do it. Normally how we do Washington, we usually start with Washington and end with Washington. We did that for a couple years in a row. I would like to see us do that with the Giants for a little while.
Tommy says, forget about it.
Forget about it. Forget about it.
Yeah,
I'm making an offer you can't refuse.
Yeah, I was, Philly and I were talking about that earlier, the Giants and the Eagles, and it's, Washington and the Cowboys. We're always playing that last game, and it's just, those are two of the most unworthy, I guess, schedules that they have. They need to have the NFC East play some up front, play in the rear, and towards the end of the season, and just to keep it spread out so that there's some actual competition. And the Eagles, when we went up there, and then the timing of this game, that's perfect. You're up in the front of the season, you're up in the back of the season. That's the way, that I think it should be. So, especially with the NFC East, as tough as the division is.
Yeah, but I don't like how they made us play. Like the fact that they made us play 4 games in 20 days, and you guys getting 10 days off. That's a big deal. That's a big deal.
Oh yeah,
that's going to make.
You can thank the Amazon AI for that. Because there's nobody, and that's the problem that I've even had, is that you don't have the capacity to actually think about this stuff. It's just thrown in the Amazon cloud and say, well, let's give them 2 million different options and see which one's the best. And that's where you don't have a feel for anymore. Even though they review the games and everything, there's still not that feel for it.
I thought they just made Madden pick it.
In his RV?
Bus.
Well, no. I mean,
bus.
not
John
Madden, but just the game, the Madden.
The game.
They just
gotcha.
This is what the schedule is next year. Bam.
No, at the draft in Cleveland, I had an awesome conversation with the guy who actually works on the schedule, and he was telling me about the whole process. And actually, he did a show right after that, so it was pretty cool. But yeah, it's the Amazon Cloud AI that does everything for us now, as far as schedule's concerned.
And he comes back just to be able to say goodbye. So, yes, we're at the top of the hour here. Everybody, thank you for all your comments and everything. We appreciate it very much. If you're not, follow us on. We do have a YouTube page, the NFC East. Yeah, Joe, I think YouTube page. So definitely follow us there if you're not following us already. And because we could definitely put on more content up there. Right now, it's only the NFC East show, but more is going to come. Anyways, everybody, thank you very much. Everybody have a great week. And as always,
How
Let's
about
go
them Cowboys?
Go Birds.
And join my following.